Breaking news, at-home edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Appreciate you joining us as we have another trade. This time, the Seahawks have traded edge rusher Darrell Taylor to the Chicago Bears in exchange for a 2025 sixth-round pick. Darrell Taylor was drafted by the Seahawks in 2020 out of the University of Tennessee as a second-round pick, and there was high hopes and expectations that he would turn into a top pass rusher in the NFL. And you look at his time in Seattle, there was a lot of peaks and valleys. Things went very up and down for Darrell Taylor as he was effective at getting after the quarterback. Everybody is very aware and of that when you go back and look at his statistics when he had 9.5 sacks in 2022, which led the Seahawks in sacks. But it was everything else that stood in his way as he struggled when it came to run defense, when he struggled in coverage, and that wasn't going to fly with what Mike Macdonald was looking to do with his Seahawks defense. And with the way this rotation is, somebody was going to be the odd man out. We'll go over that here in just a bit. And no surprise, Darrell Taylor is that guy. And if you've been watching us here on Seattle Seahawks Today for the last couple of months, we've been telling you that Darrell Taylor was going to be the odd man out, that the Seahawks were going to shop him at first, see if they could find a trade, get some type of assets for him, and then if not, probably trade him after, release him after that. And sure enough, they found a trade partner. So for me, I know some of you right away are going to be sitting here saying, all you got was a sixth-round pick for a guy that had 9.5 sacks 2 years ago? Well, that's how the market goes sometimes. You're not always going to get what you want, but if he wasn't going to be on your roster anyway here in a few days and you got something out of him, that's still a win. I think this is still a good move for the Seattle Seahawks. Folks, what is your one-word reaction to this move? My one word, I'm pleased. This works for me. I can work with this. You got something for a guy that you weren't even going to play, that wasn't even going to be on your roster more than likely. I am pleased. Give me your one-word reaction. Folks, you got to be subscribed to the channel because what have we been telling you? We told you Mike Jackson was getting traded. We told you Darrell Taylor was getting traded. All you yahoos out there that are always complaining about, you guys do too many rumors videos and all that. Well, you know why we do rumors videos around here? Because we know what we're talking about. Because we predict the future ahead of time. And about every single move the Seahawks have made this offseason, we've called it here on this show. That is why you got to subscribe to Seahawks Today, folks. We are quickly approaching 55,000 subscribers on the channel. We got a watch party coming up tomorrow. You want to make sure and join us for that watch party. Not only for your daily news and rumors, breaking news when I'm at home on my off day, still bringing you coverage here. It's all in one place, right here on Seahawks Today. Join the family. Subscribe now. We're going to have a lot of fun tomorrow night. You will not want to miss it. Each and every day here on Seahawks Today, we got you covered. Subscribe now for free. At the very least, just subscribe as a thank you for me doing this video on my off day. Second straight day I've done that on my off days, bringing you guys extra content here on the channel. Subscribe now. You'll be glad you did. All right. So let's talk about this situation now with the Seahawks, where they're going to go going forward with these pass rushers. So if you recall, a few weeks back, the Seahawks announced their plans that they wanted to use Dre'Mont Jones as an edge rusher this year. That we'll still see him play on the defensive line at times, but they primarily want to use him as an edge rusher. And before even the start of off-season activities and all that, Dre'Mont Jones in his private workouts was already preparing for the transition. So obviously this is a big deal for the Seahawks to do that. Then you get Uchenna Nwosu back from injury, and Uchenna, you may have forgotten, was really good before he got hurt. And he was a sneaky good signing that the Seahawks grabbed up from the Chargers a couple years ago. He's looked really good this offseason. He should be very ready to go and have a nice bounce-back season. You bring back Boye, coming off a season where he had 9+ sacks, led the Seahawks in sacks last year. But the difference between Boye and a guy like Darrell Taylor, Boye does the other things right. When it comes to getting after the quarterback, when it comes to stopping the run and coverage. He's a better all-around edge rusher than Darrell Taylor is, without question. And then Derick Hall. I know he didn't do much as a rookie last year, but I've seen enough promise out of Derick Hall here in the preseason and training camp where you feel optimistic. Honestly, with the way that this defense is structured, what Mike Macdonald has done over his time, we've talked about this a lot here on this channel over the last couple of months, working with these guys like Justin Houston, Kyle Van Noy, obviously I'm forgetting others, escaping my head, but all these great pass rushers he's worked with at cheap prices over the years. What they've been able to do is get these guys for cheap and get after the quarterback and put up some great numbers, right? I think in Mike Macdonald's eyes, he saw Darrell Taylor. Okay, yeah, he had one season where he had 9.5 sacks, but he struggles doing everything else. He's replaceable. Who's to say I can't get that out of Uchenna Nwosu this year, or Draymond Jones, or Derick Hall, or Boye Mafe? That's what this came down to. He was replaceable, and the Seahawks got draft capital for it. That's why they did what they did here. More to come on this move by the Seattle Seahawks, but first, let's tell you about today's sponsor. Today's show is sponsored by PrizePicks. PrizePicks, the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. You go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, and you can get a $100 deposit match on your first deposit with the promo code CLNS. You pick 2 or more players on any given category, get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking fantasy points in football, rebounds in basketball, goals in hockey, home runs in baseball, all sorts of different categories to choose from. On PrizePicks, I'm looking ahead to the start of the NFL, the start of the football season, as I got DK Metcalf to have more than 1,025.5 receiving yards. I got Lamar Jackson to have more than 3,600.5 passing yards. If I put $20 down and both those hit, that turns into $60 on PrizePicks, folks. Play along with me, prizepicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS for a $100 deposit match on your first deposit. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. PrizePicks, proud partner of Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. Glad to have them on board here on today's show. All right, so a couple other factors that are worth mentioning when it comes to Darrell Taylor here. You're saving yourselves $3 million now. And with the move yesterday of Mike Jackson there as well, is there some potential of moving some monies for some other plans in mind? Is there a player that the Seahawks potentially are looking at for a trade to bring in or another free agent signing? Something tells me, as the prognosticator who has been calling everything so far, something tells me, folks, the Seahawks aren't done yet. That before the season starts in 2 weeks from Sunday, that there's a pretty decent chance we still have more moves coming. So don't say you didn't hear it from somebody, because I'm warning you right now. I think that's a possibility at this point. So Lil Birdie says, stay tuned for that. But at the end of the day, I like this for the Seahawks. 6th-round pick, guy you weren't going to play, a guy that wasn't going to fit what Mike Macdonald wants to do. Mike Macdonald's looking for guys that can do multiple things. He's not looking for one-trick ponies. Darrell Taylor was a one-trick pony. Seahawks are better off without him. They get draft capital and, could use that pick next year. To me, it makes a ton of sense. And I'm excited about this group. I think Derick Hall's going to have a breakout season. I think Boye is going to build upon the season he had last year. Uchenna coming back. We'll see how they work things out with Draymond Jones. I'm a little concerned with Draymond Jones being banged up. He's only participated in 10 total practices this offseason. So Draymond's got some work to do to get back out there. But I feel pretty good. Grade the trade. A, B, C, D, or F. It's got to be at least a B+. I mean, it's a whole lot better than cutting a guy. Give me a grade. What's your grade in the comment section? Let me know. Subscribe now to Seattle Seahawks Today for continuing Seahawks coverage. We will see you tomorrow night on Seahawks Today. For Seahawks and Browns, coverage begins at 5 o'clock Pacific, kickoff at 6 o'clock right here on the channel. Colin Brown's going to join me. Subscribe now. We'll see you tomorrow night. So long, everybody.